Alright, here is today's GS2 question. Critically analyze the strategic imperatives driving India's active pursuit of an interim trade agreement with the United States amidst the U.S. administration's temporary cessation of reciprocal tariffs. Evaluate the significance of this endeavor in the context of India's broader trade policy objectives, considering its potential impact on economic growth, market access, and bilateral relations. Now, let's see how you would answer it. But before we dive in, please subscribe to the channel. India is actively moving toward finalizing an interim trade agreement with the United States, and this is not just about trade, it's about timing, strategy, and seizing opportunity. The catalyst here is a 90-day window, created by the U.S. administration's decision to temporarily halt reciprocal tariffs. India views this gap not as a pause, but as an opening to fast-track a bilateral trade agreement that has long been in negotiation. The terms of reference, or TOR, for this deal have already been signed. This means the fundamental structure of the proposed trade pact is in place, including scope, sectors, and guidelines. This signals that India is well ahead of many other nations who are still in early-stage talks with Washington. Now, why is India pushing so hard right now? The answer lies in a mix of economic, diplomatic, and strategic imperatives. Firstly, India wants to lock in market access before the U.S. potentially reimposes 26% reciprocal tariffs, which would hurt Indian exports, particularly in textiles, leather, and certain electronics. Secondly, with EU trade talks stuck over non-trade issues, like carbon taxes and sustainability laws, the U.S. deal seems more pragmatic and achievable in the short term. The Commerce Ministry has already expressed concerns about Europe's non-tariff barriers becoming tools of protectionism. From carbon taxes to complex climate legislation, these are emerging as obstacles, not just for India, but for many developing nations. India's point is clear: trade rules cannot be dictated by developed countries alone. Emerging economies require room to grow, without being penalized for not yet being green enough or digitally integrated enough. Hence, the U.S. deal is part of a broader trade diversification strategy. India is trying to reduce overdependence on any one market, while also strengthening its voice in multilateral platforms like the WTO. India supports WTO reforms, from redefining what counts as a developing country to clarifying rules on digital trade, agriculture subsidies, and fisheries. Now let's look at what the interim deal can mean for India. A well-structured agreement could boost investor confidence, unlock technology collaborations, and expand export access to one of the largest consumer markets in the world. It can also be a signal, a message that India is not just open for trade, but also agile and responsive in its diplomacy. From the U.S. perspective, the deal would also help diversify its own supply chains and deepen ties with a trusted strategic partner in the Indo-Pacific. So this interim trade pact is not just transactional, it's geostrategic. Both nations want to finalize the first phase of this deal by autumn 2025, as per the agreement during the Modi-Trump dialogue in Washington. But with the 90-day tariff pause in play, India wants to act faster, aiming for a win-win outcome across sectors. For aspirants writing this answer, it's important to link trade to foreign policy, economic resilience, and multilateral negotiations. Also remember, policy shifts are not made in isolation. They are responses to international alignments, domestic pressures, and leadership goals.